It's J Peso back with another video. Last night we got Errol Spence Jr. versus Lamont Peterson, and I'm not gonna make too much out of this fight because it pretty much went exactly the way I expected it to go, the way many of us expected it to go. Of course, there were some few, Spence detractors that wanted to make it whatever they wanted to make it beforehand, and of course they probably got something else to say as an excuse afterwards. We're not even gonna go into all of that right now. We pretty much where we're at is we saw what we pretty much expected to see from Spence. So um I guess moving on to the next one, it's pretty much what Spence has been saying, and I'm gonna reiterate it. Thurman got to step up, man. That's all there is to it. Thurman got to step up. Listen, I understand the landscape of boxing. Just some people's gonna say, "Oh, you got to build that fight. You got to put all that." Okay, I understand that. I understand how boxing works. But first of all, we're not talking about two pay-per-view fighters who are trying to build this maximum pay-per-view event like Mayweather Pacquiao or Golovkin Canelo. It's not that level as far as pay-per-view money-wise is concerned. It's that level as far as skill and status in the respected division. But it's not that big of a money fight where you got to push this for years and years. But let's say for the sake of argument that it is. Okay? Thurman still does not get a pass from me. I'm going to be hard on Thurman. And I don't dislike Thurman. I enjoy watching him fight. I wish I never had to hear him speak. But I like watching him fight. So this is not a Thurman hate video. But as I said before in a previous video, I'm sure you understand the landscape of boxing, Keith Thurman. I'm sure you understand what it is to maximize the profit value in a fight. He understands that. I would think he understands that even more than me. He's a professional fighter. But knowing these things, you still went on a rant, on many rants, regarding certain fighters and them not being real fighters anymore, so to speak. I'm paraphrasing now, but them not being real fighters anymore, but more so prize fighters because they're fighting for the money. It's not about the fights, it's not about the fans, it's about the bread and how much money they can make from it. While doing that, your whole calling card, I've said it before, I'm gonna say it again, that I got this, oh, I'm not afraid to let it go. Like, I see you. It's corny, but I see you. I see what you're trying to do. And as corny as it is, it can work if you live up to it. But now we fast forward a few years, and now we're looking like Thurman. He's the man at the top of the totem pole at the 147 division. Back when Spence was, I believe, 15-0, 16-0, something like that. And he's calling out Thurman. Thurman is making legitimate responses. Oh, you gotta go win a world title. You gotta fight some people. You gotta legitimate. Fast forward, I would say that Spence has done what Keith Thurman said he needed to do. Not only did he get a world title, but he went to that man's backyard to do it. That says a lot. You got guys in America from California that don't want to fight outside of California. Got guys from Vegas don't want to fight outside of Vegas. They don't want to take no fights outside of their backyard. This man crossed the pond, so to speak, whatever, you know how they call it over there. Went to that man's backyard and left with his belt. And Kell Brook is no pushover. And you can say Kell Brook was coming off a loss, and Kell Brook was already had the eye problems. From what I understand, that the eye that Errol Spence smashed to bits is the opposite eye of the one that Golovkin smashed to bits. So I can't even, it seems to me we keep finding reasons to not give Spence his credit instead of seeing it for what it is. Like, Spence is far from perfect in the ring. He's far from perfect in the ring. He said it himself. He needs to work on his defense. He doesn't move his head as much as I would like him to move his head. But that's his style. Some guys, he might be able to do it, but in the heat of the battle, you revert to your natural instincts, and especially when you're in there with guys that can't hurt you or seemingly can't hurt you, because I believe, if memory serves, Kell Brooks stunned him, at least one time in their fight. So it's not that he can't get hurt, but in his mind, maybe you can't hurt me. And there's a lot to be said about that confidence, especially when it's been working thus far. But this is not a Spence critique video. It's not even really a Thurman critique video. It's just my personal feelings as a fight fan. I understand the landscape, and if Thurman had kept his mouth shut regarding other fighters using this tactic as far as getting the most lucrative fight they can get, then I wouldn't have any problems, because I understand it happens. But when you make it your business, you feel me? When you make it your business to criticize other fighters, and then you turn around and do it. It's the same thing with De La Hoya and what he does as far as promoting fights, where he criticizes certain promoters and then you use those same tactics. It's like, you're a hypocrite, dog. I'm not saying you're wrong for doing it. I'm saying you're wrong for criticizing it and doing it. You don't get to play both sides of the fence. You don't get to act like you're above reproach when it comes to certain things. Oh, I would never. And then when you do it, we're not supposed to talk about it. Nah, it don't go down like that. At least not with me. I'm completely objective, or mostly objective. I don't think you could be completely objective in boxing, but I'm as objective as one can be when it comes to the sport of boxing. And I'm going to call it. If it's bullshit, I'm going to call it. So that's all I have. I'm going to get back with y'all because I got some more stuff. We got to definitely talk about Robert Easter, Javier Fortuna. Definitely have to talk about that. There's a lot of things going on. It's 2018 is kicked off. It kicked off big, and that Spence Peterson fight, they really did their thing. Hats off to Peterson, man. He's a warrior. Like, at the end of the day, that man wasn't gonna quit. He knew he couldn't win that fight, and he told his corner, if you do your job. That's why you have a corner. They're supposed to protect you. That's why there's a referee there. He's supposed to protect you. That fight ain't supposed to do nothing but fight. And I don't even know why he even asked Lamont that question. Lamont was gonna do what he had to do. I mean, he's like, you don't like what you're seeing. You gonna make a call, but I'm going back out there. So hats off to Peterson. You took the call when many others didn't take the call. You heard Spence say it. He ain't lying. You don't hear any of you guys refuting these facts. They didn't take the call. They didn't want the call. They was on some, sorry, I had told Craig and them I was gonna kick it with them. I'll see you when I see you type shit. That's the shit they was on. They came up with an excuse. They couldn't do it. They couldn't run. They found another out. So hats off to Peterson. You took the fight. It went the way most of us thought it was gonna go. But you hung in there and did your thing for as long as you could. Hats off to you. You a monster. Spence, the sky's the limit. His potential is great. Like, he has a lot of potential. He's not there yet. Like I said, there's flaws. I don't think any fighter is perfect in the ring. What allows fighters to appear perfect in the ring is they have the ability to hide those flaws, or minimize your strengths to where you can expose those flaws. And that's what Spence seems to have the ability to do. And he's still growing. And when these guys, these other welterweights, stop playing Ring Around the Rosie or musical chairs or whatever reindeer games they do want to say they playing right now, when they finally get in the ring with him, then we'll be able to see what he's really capable of. I don't want to jump out the window and say, Spence is the best. He's, the best we've ever seen, or, all the stuff we do when we see a guy who's uber talented, and, it appears that he can't be stopped, and he's stopping everybody. I don't want to do that, but there's a lot to be said about him being the boogeyman in this 147 division. 147 is stacked. 147 is lit. 147 is dangerous. It's guys in that division. They're monsters, and you got a guy scaring the monsters. There's a lot to be said about that. So I'm gonna leave it there. Once again, J Hazel Boxing. Like, subscribe, hate. Just watch the video. Until then, I'm out.